A split. Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSG81 and today I'd like to do a review for this latest Marvel Legends, the Iron Man from the Build-A-Figure Marvel's Controller Wave. So let's take a look at the box, and it's a very standard box with the huge windows. Both of the sides have these very cool pictures here, and at the back, wow, this is a very cool Iron Man indeed. I kind of hope they actually give this piece here for the figure, but it doesn't, which is kind of disappointing. And you can actually pause the screen right now to read what it actually says about this new Iron Man. And here is the entire wave for this Marvel controller, and this Iron Man is the only one that doesn't come with any of the Build-A-Figure parts, and this Iron Man is also the duplicates in the entire wave. So let's get him out of the box. Okay, so this is the Iron Man right out of the box, and I've forgotten to mention one thing. This armor is also known as the Armor 70. Yep, so if I actually Google some pictures of this Iron Man Armor 70, you can see some pretty cool pictures of him with all these out reactors showing all over. This is what I say, this armor is very unique and cool, which is also a good selling point to me. Yep, so we can see that, wow, it's looking very shiny, glossy. Let me brighten up the lights a little and see if it will makes it looks better. Yep, I think it looks better now with the brightened lights. Yep, so this one, wow, it just looks very nice. It's like a combination of the classic Iron Man plus the modern design over here. And for those of you who are actually very good in customizing, you can maybe install some lights on it and install with some translucent plastics over all these white points. Yep, here all over, and even on the legs. Yep, so when you turn on the lights, let the light shine through all these parts, and wow, I think it will look amazing. Yep, this is what I like about this Iron Man. It just looks, with all this thing, it's very nice. Legs part looks very classic, like a very old robotic rectangular shapes here. Yep, but otherwise it looks very good, and I'm kind of glad that they are not using old cutting of the joints where you can see the end shape here, where I'll show you guys later what I mean. This is like more like the Mayfax or the SH Figuarts kind of design. Yep, very nice. And one more thing that captures me is the neck is actually a separate piece. I don't remember if the previous one is the same, but this one is like something new to me, at least for Marvel Legends. And let's take a look at the helmet. Yep, very classic looks again, and it's very nice. Some people don't like it. I can know why, because it just looks not compatible with the body, because the body looks very futuristic, but the helmet looks very classic, and even the paint actually looks very good. I kind of like this dark gold to pair with the slightly darker red. Yeah, so it's a perfect match. You can see it looks very good right now. And let's move on to the articulations, and I'll start with the head, so you can look to the right, to the left, no issues. Looking up, yes, very well. Looking down, yep, you can do that as well. His arm, you can turn 360 degrees, no problem there. There isn't any butterfly joint as far as I can tell. A bicep swivels, double joint elbow, and his hand can move up and down, turn around. And there's only one point articulation this time for this Iron Man. You can see you can turn to the right, to the left, no problem. Bending forward, not going to happen, unfortunately. Bending backwards, yep, pretty good. And the best thing is there's no gap. Kicking forward, just 45 degrees. Kicking backwards, yeah, almost the same. And there's a tight shivers here. Double joint knee. There's also another shivers at the foot here, and his leg can move side to side, up and down. And there isn't any hinges here, and his arm can actually move sideways up. You just have to make sure this piece here actually go over the armor. It's a very soft piece, but I wouldn't recommend you to put in this pose for a long term, because it might eventually scrap off the paints or maybe stick to the paints. Let's see how well he can do a split, and wow, okay, he can do a pretty good split. So for this Iron Man, I would say that it's pretty disappointing that he doesn't come with another shivers on the waist here, yeah, which is quite disappointing. Okay, so let's move on to the accessory. As always, I'll start with the hands. So he just comes with a pair of blasting hands that's already on the figure, a pair of closed fist hands, two blasting effect, which I kind of glad they actually makes it translucent this time, two translucent smokes effect, which looks very nice. Wow. And right now, I'll show you how to interchange some of the accessory onto him. And let's start by changing the hands. Just pull it out like this. And just pop it back in with the closed fist hands. As for the shooting effect, you just need to plug it in through the holes here. Yep, as simple as this. And I believe it should work for the legs too. Yep. For the smoke effects, you just need to actually go around the hands like this. Yep, so it should look something like this. Wow, which is pretty cool by the way. I believe it should work for the feet as well. Let's try it on. Yep, something like this. As a matter of fact, I think you can actually recreate a flying pose with some other Iron Man blasting effects from other Iron Man that you can find. Yeah, I think it's compatible. And yeah, it just looks very good like this. I kind of like the smoke effects on the leg instead of on the hands. Yeah, this is very cool looking as you can see. Wow. Whew, he can look up pretty well, and this actually shows that he can do a pretty good flying pose, and the torso actually can bend backwards pretty well as you can see just now. So yep, this is what makes a very good flying pose. Wow. If you're enjoying the video so far, do click on the likes button. Thank you. Okay, as I mentioned just now, some of you guys might not like this helmeted head, so I would like to do a swapping with the original heads that comes with the classic Iron Man. Yep, this is the one. Let's see if it fits. It should fit because they are both from Marvel Legends, and voila, this looks pretty good with this armor body. Yeah, I think it looks fine. Wow, this is nice. Yep, so you can do this. If it doesn't like the helmet, this is very good looking as well for Tony Stark. Okay, so it's the posing time again, and this time I would like to do the superhero landing pose, and let's see if he can do it. Okay, so I'm not sure as well, but let's hope that he can do it. Okay. Okay, so I've decided to change the posture a little bit, and I think he does looks okay with this posting, even though it's not perfect, but I think it still looks pretty good for a superhero landing pose from Marvel Legends. Yep, and his head can look up pretty much, and it's suited very well with this pose. Now let's talk about the scale for the Iron Man. In the comic version, I did some research. It says generally the Iron Man scale around 198 centimeter tall, which I divided by 12 is around 16.5 centimeter. Let's see how well he scaled to it. And we have a 0 at the foot. Okay, and let's go to the head. 16.5 centimeter. So wow, this is like the perfect Iron Man height in terms of the 1/12 scale. Okay, so for the size comparison, let's start with some Marvel Legends. I have this Iron Man Mark 85 right over here, which is tiny bit taller than him, and also this classic Iron Man suit. Yes, so this is what I meant by the N-shaped articulations, that I actually don't really like it. Yeah, I kind of prefer this kind of cutting on the body, which makes it look better. And next, I would like to do some comparison with the SH Figuarts Iron Man Mark 6, which is of course a lot smaller than he is, and let's try to see if he actually scale well with the War Machine, which is also smaller than him. And next we'll compare with this Mark 42 from the Comic Cave, as well as this very old vintage Hasbro War Machine Mark 1, okay, which is also smaller than this armor. And lastly, I think some of you guys have actually asked me to compare Marvel Legends with the ZD Toys. So this is the Mark 3 from the ZD Toys. Of course, they are of different scale because ZD Toys is more of the 1/9 scale instead of 1/12 scale. Okay, so my final verdict for this Iron Man based on all the star rating is 8.5 out of 10. Yes, aesthetically he looks beautiful. This is like the second classic suit designed by Alex Ross. I kind of read it somewhere just now. So this is awesome design, and I think you should actually add this to your Iron Man collection if you are a big fan. As for the articulation, I think he's fair okay, not the best in the world. As for the accessory, yeah, I think he should come with a little bit more, or maybe even a head with the mask open and you can see Tony face inside. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, if they were to give the two fin behind like the one that shows on the box, then I think this Iron Man is perfect. So yes, I do recommend you to grab this Iron Man if you don't have any Iron Man, or even if you do have Iron Man, I think he will stand out amongst all your Iron Man collections. So I do hope you enjoyed this review and certainly hope that it helps you to decide whether you should get this, and I'll catch you again in my next video. In the meantime, you can check out this video right over here.